Good morning, guys. I have pulled some decks already, so we'll just get started. Good morning, happy Tuesday. First deck that got picked is my Bashar deck that I made, and on the bottom we have one of the sacred circuitry symbols, Realize. And then we did get a second deck, which is the Crystal Power Tarot, which is a beautiful deck by Jane Wallace. All right, so let's see what we got. Message from Dasani. We got a stack, it looks like. 4 cards. We'll take them. We have, what have you learned from having what have you learned from having that experience that you otherwise might not have learned? It's like extracting the knowledge out, kind of like what I was talking about in the last reading. I didn't make any reading over the weekend, but I remember talking about extracting the knowledge from every moment. But that becomes doing in the non-dual sense of doing, and just letting go of, I mean, there are lessons within hardships in our lives, but you can also let go of just needing to figure it out all the time and like let it go. Just, I don't need to know. Second card we have is everything you experience is another aspect of yourself. I think that's like really really what I'm feel like I'm stepping into in my journey, is that even this camera is a reflection of me, and this table is a reflection of me, and these cards are a reflection of me, and at the same time there is no me. So it's just apparently happening. It's but it's literally seeing everything as an aspect of me, and that's hard when you see some of the things going on in the world. Like, well, how could that be an aspect of me? And I think that's kind of like where the balance comes in between, I don't know, you don't have to take everything on. Try to move these down a little bit. You don't have to take everything on, and you can have preferences, because you are like the whole. You are God. You are consciousness. We're all like in this together. But every experience is another aspect of yourself. So if we put that with this one, what have you learned from having that experience that you otherwise might not have learned? And it seems like learning that it's, just you teaching yourself, because that's what we came here to learn. We came here to learn. This is like graduate school. And so this is literally for me what life is becoming about. And just moment to moment is trying to always just be, without needing to hold on to stuff. Well, the next one is expect the unexpected. That was one of my funner drawings. Like the orange within the apple. And then the fourth card we got here is step 7. And I think this is going to be the step 7 of the manifestation. I kind of wrote like where all my little pictures came from. It's the allowance. Detach from the outcome. You have to be intense in your desire without any expectation that it manifests. So you have to detach from the outcome. My marker's kind of like faded, but those hands, like they kind of got lighter. So it does seem like detaching is like letting go, and everything experience is another aspect of yourself. I love this card because he's not looking around. It's like, what have you learned from that experience? He's literally has his eyes closed and he's like holding in mind this, probably this experience, and letting it like permeate into his being, and seeing it as like just a part of himself. But it's not all as real as it seems, and I think once you get the lesson, once you realize why you're having an experience, then it can slowly let go. And I was going to say something else about this card. No, we will just continue. Let's see what's on the bottom. Step 4. Is this the same? Acceptance. Accept your belief and your ability to manifest it as being true. Accept your belief and your ability to manifest it as being true. Acceptance. What was our bottom card when we started this? It started with an R. It was receive. So that was the sacred circuitry, was receive. And it seems like we're receiving a lesson. We're realizing that everything is part of us, an aspect of ourself, like the diamond. And to expect the unexpected, because everything is working out for you. You literally made this for yourself to extract lessons. It's what you chose to experience. So you start expecting the unexpected and joyfully, because you know that everything that happens is to your benefit, to your highest benefit. And so then you just really start allowing to receive. It seems like, and we have acceptance here on the bottom too. I think that's all for that deck. Let's see what this deck has. We'll clarify, like these, just make a little downward pyramid thing. Oh, what did we get here? We got 2 cards, and they're both wands. 3 of wands, or 5 of wands and 3 of wands, both garnet. I guess all the wands are garnet. And I stand my ground and look for peace. I have the energy I need to realize my goals. So that's like the 8 of wands total. Stand your ground and look for peace. And being the 5 of wands there's a lot of, like, when you start living your life like this, there's a lot of pushback, and a lot of it is energetic, because there's this whole, especially in America, where there's this whole American dream and all these things that people aspire to be, and that you need to have kids by this age, and you need to graduate, and you need to go to college, and you're basically not worthy unless you go down this path of conformity. And I think that's literally what, once you find your truth and you know it, and it could just be something simple, something you have to stand up for, like, I don't know, proving, kind of like maybe you were right in a situation, or maybe you said something and people tried to play it against you and say you're lying or whatever, make up whatever other kind of stories. And it seems like he just closes his eyes and just focuses on the moment, and what, regrounds himself in that this is all working out for him. And sometimes it takes that regrounding, because it can get easy to get sucked into the stories and the emotions and expectations, herd mentality, all of it. And I was just thinking, like, yesterday, I think, with YouTube, even, like, you can't hardly make a video on YouTube unless you want to, like, do the whole hook piece, because they have the autoplay on a lot of devices. So a lot of people just, I mean, there is a hook thing, even in a book, it has like a hook, but it seems more with the way YouTube has the autoplay when you're just mousing over stuff. I turn that off because it adds it to my history, and that just gets really annoying. But yeah, so it's like this conformity. If you want to be whatever, have a lot of followers, it appears, and appearances aren't all that they seem, that you have to follow these guidelines, and you have to have good hooks and good titles and good thumbnails and post every day, and a lot of that stuff will definitely help you, but that does not mean that's the only way, because the imagination is the ultimate way. And that means the ultimate way, the imagination is literally boundlessness and freedom. And it's literally everything, because even the opposite of like those conformities are also freedom. And I know that doesn't feel that way, but it really is, because you can't have one without the other. And you can't have a kaleidoscope and just say, like, this little speck is all there is. You literally, like, we are is what I'm saying, just like similar to I am, but we are. Anyways, the next card is, I have the energy I need to realize my goals. And it feels like there's fast movement. And I got this like 2 days ago, or where I just kept hearing, like, are you ready to go fast now? Or something like that. And I didn't really think about it. And then I was browsing YouTube, and I saw some titles that were like, things are going to start moving fast now. And I was like, okay, maybe I should have paid more attention to that. And then we have 8 of Wands here. I have all the energy I need to realize my goals. So we might clarify that. But for now, let's keep moving. And I think there's like that I need to realize my goals. It seems, I almost feel a little bit of, what's that word? Oh my God. Can't think of it. I would say conformity, but it's not. Discipline. I guess that is a kind of conformity. But that's what this 3 of Wands feels like. It feels like I have the energy I need to realize my goals. It feels like discipline a little bit, because you kind of have to have discipline to follow goals, I guess. Let's see what the next card is. Everything experiences another aspect of yourself. And I guess the 3 of Wands could just be that, you know, holding the world that you created, your own little, I want to say enterprise, but it's like hologram, holotope. But it's 3 holding the world, like the Rider Tarot, holding the world and seeing everything in the world as an aspect of yourself. That's, oh, got way too many. 1, please, for everything you experience is another aspect of yourself, and expect the unexpected. Oh, there's 1 upside down in here. Well, I think we should take that one. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Green Adventurine. Isn't that pretty? I trust whatever the universe brings to me. And that's what I was saying earlier about everything you experience is an aspect of yourself. So start being joyful for it, and expect the unexpected, and detach from the outcome, because the universe unconditionally loves you and supports you, and everything is working out. So be excited and trust whatever the universe brings you, even if it's not preferred. By experiencing the unpreferred, you are making an energetic and conscious choice towards your preference when you walk away from what you may not prefer. Yeah. But I love that. Everything you experience is another aspect of yourself. Expect the unexpected. Isn't that beautiful? And on the bottom we have Knight of Swords, Ametrine. I choose my battles carefully. He has like little fairies flying around him. The Knight of Swords. So there's definitely some forward mental energy to literally being in this, I'll say, state of mind, even though there isn't really. Everything you experience is another aspect of yourself. So expect the unexpected. That's literally what the cards are saying. Can it be more clear? We have the Wheel of Fortune right there. And it seems like a mental thing. It's because you're choosing. Because you're being quick to choose what you prefer. So let's... We got 6 cards. We're going to keep shuffling. We need expect the unexpected in step 7. We got more wands. Expect the unexpected. Detach from the outcome. You have to be intense in your desire. You have to be intense in your desire. Without any expectation of that it manifests. So just be intense with it. And then what becomes hard is when you really want something and you're intense with it, like you have to be intense in your desire. That what am I trying to say here? To be intense in your desire, and then what happens is you really start thinking about this. Say like, I want a car. We'll just use this as an example. And then you really like get intense about it, and you start exploring like, well, what kind of car, what color of car, like interior stuff. And that's when you start getting insistent. It's okay to explore those things, but when you're like, okay, I've got it down to the one car I want, and then by doing that, by really like, preferences are good, but when you hold on to it like this is the one I want and nothing else is good enough, then you are limiting yourself, limiting what can actually come in for you. And a lot of times is look at all this wand energy with the Wheel of Fortune. That's crazy. I haven't even talked about these cards yet. A whole lot of garnet. So maybe anybody wants to wear some garnet or some green adventurine. Sorry, I have an itch on my ankle. I was just saying how it can be hard to like really want something and then have it like, it's hard to stay intense in your desire. It appear, that's just a story. So let's just break that down a second. It can appear hard, and then we get upset because it's not the thing that we wanted. And a lot of times we just like stop wanting things because maybe they just don't work out for you or something. I know that's kind of how it was for me at one point. Why want something if somebody's just going to come around and destroy it, right? Or you're not going to get exactly what you want. But the 7 of Wands is, I think it's more about like, yes, a car would be nice, but once you dream up all these wands, I guess, and you can say that like, you can let it go and appreciate all the cars or whatever, or I actively hold true to my values. So it's just kind of, I feel like it's going back to like this card here. Like this is the return point instead of just being stuck on the high and smell of a new car and all its cool gadgets and stuff. That you never forget your values. You never forget your integrity and honesty and gratitude, humility. And we have the ace, so 7 of wands. You know what's funny is it skipped. We have the 3, 5, 1, and 7. So it skipped the 6, which I feel like is in this Wheel of Fortune. And then we have 7, 8. So we had 8 of wands over there and 8 of wands over here. That's 16. That's like another 7 of wands. I am inspired to follow my passion, and I think that is it. So try to find out what is most exciting for you in a moment. And I know yesterday I was gonna come up here and do a reading, and I was had some other stuff I needed to do, you know, like around the house, like dishes and make the bed and get freshened up and all that stuff, and vacuum. And I actually pulled some weeds, and I was just thinking, like, out of everything possible that I could do, and I was choosing to do the dishes, and I really just don't like cleaning, and I would rather be doing something else. And I was just like finding myself like kind of frustrated, like, ugh, I'd rather be upstairs right now. But apparently, like, I don't know if it was a need, that it was a passion, because it feels good to be in a clean house, to have, I don't know. On the bottom this time we have 4 of swords. It says, I take the time I need to rediscover my vitality. So, dang, we got a lot of wands here. I'm tempted to do, I have an idea. I'll just move this down a little bit, and we'll get 3 cards for, oh, well, let's just put that one there, that one there. And can we have just one more, please? One more card, please, for expected, unexpected, and step 7. Guess I'll just continue first. All right, my nose is running a little bit. Page of Pentacles, pyrite. I am open to opportunities for personal growth. Dang, that is so cool. That is so cool. That does look so cool to me. It really does. Oh, I'm open to opportunities for personal growth, and I am, because everything else around this planet just, I want to say this planet, it just seems that like that is the ultimate path. I'm open to opportunities for personal growth, and then we have the devil. I am free from whatever is holding me back. And like they have passionate love there, I guess. The devil, though, obsidian. But it seems that in that, just declaring I am free of whatever is holding me back. Here's our last card. The King of Pentacles, or King of Swords, sorry, Amatrine. I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. And on the bottom we have Temperance. I find clarity through calm. Oh. Getting more like, so we have a lot of wands energy, and then we have swords energy, Page of Pentacles. We got the devil. So it's like a lot of fire energy down here, and then we have some air and earth. I might have to like stack these up. This is already going longer than I had hoped. Let's get one for the Page of Pentacles and the Devil, please. I'm open to opportunities for personal growth, and I am free of whatever is holding me back. I like that, it's whatever, and just declaring it. And it looks like the little, I don't know, I can't, it seems like some kind, almost like love bombing or some kind of relationship energy. It's free of that, I guess. And the King of Swords, I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. Page of Pentacles and the Devil, please. We'll just start. Ooh, get high. Honesty, integrity, gratitude, and humility. And that's from one of Bashar's. You can look it up, but it talks about basically how to get high without getting high, and it's kind of mastering those 4 energies and then harmonizing them. And we have center here, another sacred circuitry symbol. So it seems like is get high, honesty, integrity, gratitude, and humility. Devil and King of Swords. Well, prepare. Look like prepare. How do you prepare for expect the unexpected? Preparing. Prepare. Prepare to receive it and allow it. And it also has, I trust my ability to make strategic decisions. I don't know, I'm thinking about Nisargadatta, and he'd be like, who is there to actually prepare for anything? On the bottom it says, you are here at this time because you chose to be. You are created in the image of the Creator. Your essential essence is unconditional love. And the experience of ecstasy is your birthright. Oh, wow. So the experience of ecstasy is your birthright. That part really stood out to me because this devil energy, and a lot of times we get into relationships and it looks like, you know, or we think that it's going to be just so romantic and hopeless romantic and perfect story, you know, something you'd see in the story, and then maybe it doesn't work out exactly like that. But you're still attached to it. You're still chasing that person, that relationship, whether it's with the same person or new person. But this bottom is the experience of ecstasy is your birthright. So it feels like prepare to feel that again, maybe. Prepare for the unexpected. Allow yourself to feel. And trust your ability to make a strategic decision. We're getting one more card here, and then we will finish. Be the top of the deck, the top of the thing. We kind of got 2 that came out a little bit. One flipped over. So Queen of Pentacles. Aw. And I have everything I need to prosper. Is that what it says? And more Earth, more Pentacles, 6 of Cups. I remember and treasure past happiness. And that's right over this Devil card. So it's like take those moments and really cherish them. And the card that showed itself briefly was the 4 of Cups. I listen to my heart and follow my knowing. And well, I guess all the cups are aquamarine. Well, I'm kind of getting that trust in the universe that they love you, that you are loved unconditionally and supported unconditionally, and that you always have exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. And if you really believe that, no matter what you have, you can be the Queen of Pentacles, you can be the Nine of Pentacles. It's literally opening yourself up to having everything you need to prosper. And a long time ago, I put this thing on my wall and just printed out and taped it up, and it just said, I think I put it back up somewhere, but maybe not. I have everything I need comes to me in perfect timing. It was something from Abraham Hicks, and I put it up like years ago, and it was all faded and falling off the wall sometimes for years. But I think when you really just sit in this energy and trust and believe that, like, everything is working out perfectly, and to practice honesty, integrity, gratitude, and humility, and prepare to allow for the unexpected. That there is a lot of like fire, passion, even if it's doing the dishes. Maybe if everything you have is like chores or whatever you want to call them, and you're not really excited about it, how is that actually like? It was confusing for me yesterday, but then also this energy is coming up from like past relationships where this romanticized like relationship may have kept you in like a holding phase until you could really let go of it. And it feels like because of all that, everything, like the Wheel of Fortune is right in the middle with expect the unexpected. And everything experiences another aspect of yourself. So expect the unexpected and know that everything is another aspect of yourself. And detach from the outcome. That's my message for you guys today. I love the wand energy. I love the Eight of Wands on both sides of the Wheel of Fortune. And it's also the Wheel of Fortune is a 10, so I don't know, this little reading just feels like something is wrapping up. Clearly, the world isn't here, but we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this feels like an ending right here with the Wheel of Fortune right under it. And I have everything I need to prosper, and I feel like that is the ultimate truth. Like, no matter what, if you can just live in that, because even if you're in a really low spot, you can kind of look at and see like, well, I'm still alive. So maybe I actually have everything I need in this moment, excuse me. I don't know. And then you just you have to want to learn. You don't have to want to learn. But I think it at some point becomes natural that there is just this learning, while also like there's no one to actually learn or know anything, because there is no one to be a knower, and there's actually no knowledge to be known. I know that sounds crazy, but it allows you to let go of these like traditions and stuff. I like that this, because when you're in these relationships, that's like depicted on this double card, you feel high, especially when you're in your like teens and whatever, your first relationships, and you're so hopeful, like the Page of Pentacles, you're like you're high on this relationship, and it almost feels like there's prepare here, but that You can only prepare if you're expecting. And you have to expect the unexpected. So you prepare for the unexpected. Not just expect the unexpected, but prepare for the unexpected. All right, guys. I hope you have a great week. I'm sure I'll do some more posts. And I hope this message finds you well. Bye-bye.